Run. I get that cash and I flip it, yeah. I get that cash and I flip it.
Hey you guys, it's me, Cherry. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and turn on your post notifications because I post all over the place. And I wanted to come on here and talk about birth control because I feel like a lot of women have a lot of questions about birth control, and I always hear the conversation going about it, and I personally have tried every birth control you can think of, and because of that I figured why not make a video about all my experiences on all the different birth controls that I have tried, because I know that girls oftentimes wonder the difference between different birth controls and which ones are the best options for them, and so on and so on. So I will personally say that after my experiences on birth control, I personally now am not on any birth control because I feel like, for me personally, I do not like any of them. Right now, I'm just at a point where birth control is just not for me. But I've also been very safe about making that decision for myself. But at the same time, it is kind of like, it's a tough decision to make because I feel like there's so many negative side effects to birth control that people don't tell you, they don't talk about. And there are a lot of articles and stuff where women are like, they took birth control and now it's harder for them to get pregnant, and like just all this other crazy things that happen on birth control. So for me, I'm just not really a fan of birth control anymore. I don't dislike birth control, but I just personally don't like it for myself, is what I will say. I just don't like it for myself. And here is why. So the first one that I'm going to talk about was the pill. So I was on the pill. I did the pill for a couple years. I want to say I did the pill from the time I was like in junior year of high school up until my freshman year of college. I did the pills. The reason I don't like the pill it's not like a super like crazy reason. I just personally don't like to try and remember to take a pill every single day because I just wasn't remembering to take the pill. So I was like, okay, this isn't really a good option for me. I'm not remembering to take it. I want something where I can just get it done once a month, or just have it permanently, and well, not permanently, but for a certain amount of time, and I don't have to worry about taking a pill every day. So that is why I stopped taking the pill. So what I will say about the pill is I didn't really have any spotting on the pill, nothing crazy. I didn't gain weight on the pill. I wasn't super hormonal, and honestly, the pill did help to regulate my period a lot because I used to have a very heavy flow. And when I say very heavy, I'm going to talk about this openly because we are females right now watching this video. I'm assuming there aren't probably any guys watching this video because I don't know anything about male birth control, if there is any. So, but when I would get my period was very heavy. And when I say very heavy, you guys, I could have in a tampon and a pad, and I would bleed through them both. And I mean like a super tampon and a pad, and I would bleed through them both. It was that heavy, and I was in high school. So the pill helped to make my period a lot lighter, which was a blessing because my God, I used to hate my period. And then not only was it very heavy, but I used to bleed all 7 days, like strong. So the pill helps regulate that, but I just didn't want to have to remember to take a pill every day. So after the pill, the second one that I did was Depo. So with Depo, a lot of people tell these horror stories about how they gained so much weight on Depo, and how, what's another thing they say on Depo? They're like, they gained so much weight, they were very irritable, and they just were miserable and all this stuff. I did not have any of those experiences on Depo. On Depo, how it worked was you would go in, you get your shot every 3 months, and that was really the gist of it. Your shot would burn like a mother, and they would shoot it in your butt. I remember they would shoot it in your butt. Your butt cheek would be on fire. Your butt cheek would be on fire. But with Depo, the reason I did not like Depo and the reason I stopped taking Depo altogether was because with Depo, at first it was great. At first I was like, oh my God, I don't have a period. I didn't have a period with Depo. I was like, oh my God, I don't have a period. This is great. This is awesome. But I started spotting, like maybe a month into me having Depo, I started spotting, and I spotted for 3 months straight. 3 months straight, every day, spotting. And it wasn't a lot of spotting, like it wasn't heavy or anything, but it was enough to where I felt really self-conscious about wearing certain things, because I was like, okay, I can't wear this because I'm be spotting. I felt self-conscious about trying to have sex, because I was like, okay, I don't want to be having sex and then I'm spotting, and then this person's looking at me like, ew, are you on your period? You didn't tell me you're on your period, because I'm not into that. So I was like, okay, I don't want to, this is embarrassing, I don't want to keep doing this. And it was a hassle. It was a hassle to sit there and wear pads, or not pads, but to wear panty liners every single day, because I was spotting every single day. So I was like, this isn't for me. So after I decided to stop with the Depo shots, my next thing that I tried was the Implanon. So the Implanon goes in your arm. Matter of fact, you really can't see it, honestly, so I'm not even about to try and show y'all the scar, but the Implanon goes in your arm. They stick it, like they normally stick it like around this area where it's kind of like softer. And the Implanon, they have a 3-year one and they have a 5-year one. So I had the one for 3 years. So I got that put in. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be great. I don't have to worry about getting a shot every 3 months. I don't have to worry about taking a pill every day. And you know, it's in my arm, and I can not have to, I just don't have to worry about upkeeping it in any type of way. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be, I was like, literally, if y'all ever seen Ha Davis, where he's like, this finna be a breeze. I was literally like, this finna be a breeze, okay? Like, no ma'am, it wasn't a breeze, not at all. Because with the Implanon, I literally spotted the whole entire time. I had my Implanon in for a whole year, maybe a year and a half, like, yeah, maybe a year to a year and a half. I spotted the whole entire time. And with the Implanon, it wasn't light spotting. It was like medium spotting. So it wasn't heavy, but it wasn't light, and it was, oh God. I was just like, oh my God, I spotted all the time, to the point it was killing my sex life. It was literally killing my sex life, because I didn't want to have, you know, it's like, who wants to have sex with somebody who's always bleeding? That's gross. Like, I mean, or let me not say gross, it's a part of being a woman. It's just, you know, it happens. But for me personally, I didn't want to be that person that was, you know, and this was during the time where I was like dating around and stuff, and you know, I'm not about to act like I was just, oh, like I was just messing with one person. No, I was dating around, I was enjoying, and I was living my best life. So I didn't want to keep explaining to people why I was bleeding during sex. Like, that's awkward. That's a very awkward conversation to have. And even though it was just spotting, it was just like, nobody wants to be spotting all these freaking time. Like, and it was just killing my sex life. So I was like, after a little bit over a year, I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore, because I was starting to, at that point, I was starting to talk to somebody seriously, and I just didn't want to have to worry about, like, you know, I wanted to be able to be intimate with that person without worrying about, okay, I want to get it on, I want to do the do, but dang, am I spotting today? Is this going to be one of the good days? Is this going to be one of the days where I don't spot, like, or is this going to be one of the many days that I'm spotting the whole entire day? And like, it gets so repetitive and so annoying having to explain that to people time and time again. Now, I didn't gain weight on this one. Like, I didn't gain weight or anything on Depo. My only side effect from Depo was the spotting. I didn't gain weight or anything on the Implanon. I wasn't super moody or anything like that. It was just the spotting. I was like, I cannot sit here. I didn't have a period on the Implanon, but I was just like, I cannot sit here and constantly be bleeding. Like, that's gross. So I got that taken out, and then after I did the Implanon, and y'all, by the end of this, which I'm nearing the end of this, but by the end you will understand why I personally do not like birth control for myself. Like, cool for other people, do your thing, I just don't like it for me. Because after the Implanon, then I did the what do you call it? I did the NuvaRing. I did the NuvaRing, and I'm like, okay, this one is going to be, this has to be the one. This is going to be perfect because I can do the NuvaRing. I can take it out whenever you put it in, and you, like, after you put it in, I think it stays in for 3 weeks at a time. From what I remember, it stays in for 3 weeks at a time. And then you take it out, and it sounds like it would be like, oh my God, like what if it gets trapped up there? But no, it doesn't go up that high. It doesn't get stuck. Like, granted, it can come off on your partners during sex, but oh, that's funny. And I think from what I've heard from other people, and then from what I've heard from my partner at the time as well, you can, like, it's not like uncomfortable, like you can feel it, but you can feel it when you're having sex. Like, you as the person with it can't feel it, but your partner can feel it. But it wasn't like, I wasn't super hormonal or anything. Also wasn't moody for that one. Also didn't gain weight on that one. I don't even think you can gain weight on the NuvaRing. But the thing about the NuvaRing, and I didn't have spotting on the NuvaRing, so I was like, okay, awesome. I'm not gonna have any spotting on this. Like, cool. Y'all. What they don't tell you about the NuvaRing is the NuvaRing, one of the side effects of it, and I've never even heard this on the commercial, I've never heard this, like, the doctors didn't tell me this when I got it, was that one of the side effects is yeast infections. And so with the NuvaRing, I noticed that every single time I was replacing the NuvaRing, like every single time I would get done with one and put in a new one, I would get a yeast infection. Every single time. Who wants to do that every single time you put this thing in, you have a yeast infection? And I know that's not everybody's experience, but that was my experience. That's why I was like, I'm not doing the NuvaRing anymore, because I'm getting yeast infections every single time I put this thing in, I get a yeast infection. And I went to the doctor and I asked them about it, and they were like, yeah, that's one of the side effects. I'm like, well, y'all didn't tell me this. So now I'm over here wondering why I'm yeasty as hell every 3 weeks I have a yeast infection, and it's because of this. And as soon as I stopped with the NuvaRing, it stopped happening. As soon as I stopped putting it in, it stopped happening. I was like, bro, I can't win for losing. So currently I'm not on any forms of birth control. I'm not interested in any forms of birth control. I never did the Mirena, the one that goes in your uterus. I don't know, wherever it goes. I never did that one because that one's a little too invasive for my liking, and I'm just not trying to be, I'm just not trying to have that in there. And at this point, I just don't really want any type of birth control, period, because I've had so many negative experiences with birth control that I'm just over birth control as a whole. So that has just been my experiences with birth controls. If you all have different experiences, let me know, comment below. But that has been my experience with the different birth controls, and those are kind of all the things that you should consider when you are picking a birth control. And just, yeah, make sure that you pick one that's good for you, that you feel like it's going to be a good fit for you. And do your research. Make sure you do your research, because the doctors tell you most of the stuff, but like I had with the NuvaRing, they told me most of the stuff. Like, it wasn't like they didn't tell me anything, but they definitely left that out. And because they left that out, I suffered. If you're looking for options for birth control, again, just make sure that you are very well informed. I don't really like condoms either, but I mean, I use them, but I don't really like condoms just because those tend to throw off my pH as well, and they irritate me, and I just don't like them. But I also don't want to be pregnant because I don't want to be anybody's mama anytime soon. So condoms it is. But yeah, just make sure that you pick the birth control that's right for you. So if you like this video and you can relate, and you have any information that you would like to share about your experiences, please comment below. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video.